Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Eve Echoes. Today marks the day of a bittersweet victory against exploiters, and the war against exploits in general. Has been one hell of a rough weekend with all the low-sec camping going on, but I hope you stood safe and avoided unnecessary low-sec traveling. In case you don't know what happened, this weekend's highlights had the use of an exploit involving low-sec gate guns being disabled by using a cloaked ship. To find out more about it, there's a pop-up right here in the top right corner and also a link below in the description. To be honest, I was expecting some kind of a response on Monday morning, and to my delight, it did not fail in arriving, and surprisingly it was very good. In a very positive way. Bear with me. So, the announcement came from our beloved community manager, Joseph, and it reads the following. Capsuleers, we are aware of an exploit occurring in low-sec systems involving committing a criminal act and delaying a security response. In the meantime, 1. Players who fell victim to this exploit will be compensated accordingly. Please contact customer support in the game if you incurred a loss due to this exploit specifically, and they will check the data to see if it fits. Number 2. Players who took advantage, continue to take advantage of this exploit will be punished. The severity of the punishment corresponds to the severity of use of the exploit. And number 3. This bug will be fixed as soon as possible. Thanks everyone for your support and patience. As I mentioned, I said bittersweet victory at the beginning because there have been a lot of exploits used in the past. The camping of gates that was shut down due to a server bug, the bumping of gate guns to infinity and beyond, the tanking of gate guns outside of aggro range, the sitting up cloaked inside sites, preventing them from despawning while holding to ransom entire systems inhabited by players in nullsec. And none of it was actually punished. By the contrary, as you saw those being mentioned over and over again, that it was not a bug, it was not an exploit, leaving pilots filled with doubt in regards to a system that was supposed to protect them. And, just to add insult to injury, the exploits were fixed and patched several iterations later. If they were not a bug, why were they fixed? Get my point? That was some utter bullshit. But today marks the day, 11th of January. Today a precedent was created, ladies and gentlemen. First time mass punishment will be taken as a course of action against players who performed or are still performing the exploit. Well done, netties. So on behalf of the followers on my channel and the entire player base, we thank you. It was due time. This really required a response or some form of action being taken, and I really want to believe that it was not done just to please the masses. It was the right thing to do, as long as the terms of service clearly state use of any form of exploit is a punishable offense. All in all, for the players that lost ships due to this exploit, please do submit tickets and you'll be reimbursed. We have this confirmed in the announcement. For the pilots that actively sought out ways to disrupt the exploiters during this entire weekend by going above and beyond in their Ibises, Imperors, Velators and Reapers, sitting on gates just resetting gate guns, and some groups even forming big combat fleets to take down the campers. All of you guys have my highest form of respect. I salute you. So that was that. On another slice of the cake, I noticed some folks entering panic mode about a specific item related to SOV updates, so I decided to issue a clarification and explain what's that about. Of course, I'm talking about the article mentioning NPC stations going away. So there's a common misconception about these stations, and for new players that don't know what happened with the game when it launched, this article kinda sparked even more confusion. So let's break this subject down into an iterative story. Number 1. Two types of NPC stations are in nullsec. true NPC stations sitting in unclaimable space inside NPC regions, such as Stain, Venal, Syndicate, Great Wildlands, etc., and fake NPC stations spawned in claimable sovereignty systems with expansive purpose. Keep that in mind. These stations are unconquerable. Number 2. Some analysts pointed out that the population would be highly condensed in high-sec, low-sec at game launch, mostly due to the fact that no one had anything to begin with. It can't build outposts with thin air. Meaning nullsec would remain pretty much empty for 3 months or so. So the devs announced before launch that a bunch of NPC stations will be spawned in null systems to facilitate players who want to move to nullsec. Number 3. Game launched. No one had anything, so clearly no one could just start building outposts right from the beginning. Number 4. People going to null settled in these fake NPC stations. Number 5. Which happens today, sovereignty was deployed, and the article in the dev blog mentioned they will not be removing the NPC stations for now, but that it will be a necessary step for the near future. Of course, they are referring to the fake NPC stations that reside inside claimable sovereignty space. So there you have it. It's fake NPC stations that are in claimable space that will be removed soon because they aren't supposed to be there in the first place. The existence of these stations was just a hack to facilitate the population that wish to go straight to nullsec, so there won't be a clutter in high low-sec. Meanwhile, the NPC stations in NPC-owned regions, the true NPC stations, will remain as they are. I hope that clarifies a bunch of stuff. So please stop entering panic mode. Nothing will happen in the near future. Other than that, please do remember to participate in the weekly giveaway and answer our community question of the week. New insurance system. How do you think it will be compared to the old ship recovery system? We have 2 Omega combos as prizes ready to go towards 2 lucky randomly picked winners, which by the way, will be announced in tomorrow's video, so you still have about 24 hours to fill in your response. Remember to slap like and subscribe, and if you really want to help this channel out, become a channel member by slapping the join button or clicking the join link in the description. That's it for today. I hope you learned something. Thank you guys for watching. Very big shout out to my channel supporters, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.